Caernarfon Castle, a jewel in the crown of North Wales. Join us today as we explore this incredible fortress, pay our respects to Her Majesty, and possibly have a small drink. Hello and welcome to Postcard and a Pint. I'm Rachel.
I'm Wills.
And today we're in Caernarfon. It was a slightly foreboding kind of day, but we'd come to check out one of North Wales's finest castles. Parking wasn't cheap, but it was all day. We parked right on the estuary, next to the castle. Ooh, postcards. Now I wonder who this one is going to. Into the typically Welsh gift shop to pay. Fridge magnets of dragons and love spoons galore. Ooh, it's good to be back. Caernarfon Castle is absolutely massive. We couldn't wait to get in. Tickets were £11.50 per person, and you get a full book of information with that. There is of course a small gift shop, and oh, who left the toys out? Right, let's go. A short walk up some stairs and then, wow, it's easy to see why this castle is recognised around the world as one of the greatest buildings of the Middle Ages. In the 13th century, Llywelyn ap Griffith refused to pay homage to the English king Edward I. Edward obviously didn't have a sense of humour because he went up to Gwynedd, defeated it and built this massive castle, one of the largest castles in Wales. We visited in September 2022. There is work going on to make this castle more accessible for those with disabilities. We really welcome that. Everyone should be able to enjoy this masterpiece. Now tell us some history, Rach. Caernarfon Castle was built between 1283 and 1330. Well done. You are free to wander just about anywhere, and there are some fascinating exhibitions in the various towers. This one in the Eagle Tower tells the story of Eleanor, Edward I's wife. Eleanor of Castile was born in 1241 and was married to Edward in 1254, aged just 13. Despite the couple's young age, Eleanor became pregnant almost immediately. Sadly, the baby girl was stillborn. Eleanor gave birth to many children in her life. Over half of them were stillborn or died in infancy. Eleanor and Edward were totally devoted to one another. She accompanied him on the 8th Crusade and would assist him in his campaigns. It was here, at Caernarfon Castle, aged 43, that Eleanor gave birth to a son who would survive, Edward of Caernarfon, who would go on to become King Edward II. History just radiates out of every wall and embrasure here. Another exhibition is that of the Dream of Max Ledig. This story is found in the Mabinogion. On a hilltop east of Caernarfon Castle are the remains of a Roman fort, Saguntium, founded around 77 AD. Roman Emperor Magnus Maximus dreams of a beautiful woman in a far-off land. After sending men across the empire, she is found in Caernarfon, and her name is Ellen, daughter of the local chieftain. Although the story is fictional, it has some basis in historical events. The stairs in this castle are not for the faint-hearted, but to see the old rooms and fireplaces from times gone by is incredible. This exhibition told the entire history from the Roman settlement all the way to today's castle. In 1911, David Lloyd George, who was then a Member of Parliament, agreed to the royal family's request to hold the investiture of the Prince of Wales here at Caernarfon Castle. And on July the 13th, Edward VIII was invested as Prince of Wales. Some of you might remember this. In 1969, on July the 1st, our now King Charles III had his investiture here as he became the Prince of Wales. It wasn't without incident though. There were terror threats. You know, the Welsh people, they just do not like to have an English Welsh prince. Anyway, 2 terrorists actually got killed when their bombs blew up prematurely. Their intention had been to bomb the royal train. Moral of the story, don't be a terrorist. Seeing such a young King Charles at his investiture was really moving. There was a certain melancholy in the air. The flags were flying at half-mast, as it had been little over a week since we had lost our dear Queen Elizabeth II. Seeing the sight of King Charles's investiture and moving on to the Prince of Wales exhibition was all the more poignant due to the past week. This is the chair that Charles sat in, and this was the Queen's, made from finest Welsh slate. The exhibition is laid out like a chessboard, with information about different kings and queens through history. These are the actual chairs used in the investiture of Prince Edward in 1911. He went on to become Edward VIII. It's been a really strange time here in the UK since Her Majesty passed away. Seeing all of this history of the monarchy running through the very veins of this castle really brought it home to us, and we wanted to pay our respects. We're now in the Royal Welsh Fusiliers Regimental Museum, which tells the story of over 300 years of service by Wales's oldest infantry regiment. These medals awarded in Her Majesty's time were incredibly moving. North Wales is traditionally the home of the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, but recruits have come from all over the United Kingdom and Ireland, especially in the last 2 world wars. A goat has served with the regiment since the Battle of Bunker Hill in 1775 during the American War of Independence. Our time at the castle was coming to an end, but what an incredible visit we had had. It was time to take a look at the royal town of Caernarfon and its old town walls. The walls were constructed at the same time as the castle and encircle the old town. There is a lot to see along the seafront. Propellers, buoys, and that thing. What a massive anchor!
What did you just call me?
Well, if the cap fits, as they say. We took a stroll down to the harbour to look at the boats. For a fleeting moment I thought someone had named their boat Mary Rose. Not a promising name. It had turned out to be a lovely day after the grey skies of earlier. We really enjoyed just ambling around the harbour. Then it was back into the old town. This is the Grade 1 listed St Mary's Church, built in 1307. It nestles in the corner of the town walls. The streets are so colourful and pretty, each building with its very own history. Right, mood change. A bit of a break from the norm now. We have recently become Amazon affiliates. And if you head on over to our website, we've got a special affiliate page of products we recommend, products we use. And every now and again, we're going to chuck one in a video. Like right now. We use this fabulous power brick. Both of our iPhones are getting very old. Not as old as us, but old, and their battery just doesn't last. And here I am, middle of the day, I've had to plug in, and it's very, very useful, and we wouldn't be without it. We highly recommend it. We'll put a link in the description below. What do you think of this product, Wills?
Highly recommended.
Yep, we use it loads. So if you'd like one, we'll stick a link in the description below to our affiliate page. Cheers! Right, back to exploring Caernarfon. There are lots of restaurants, pubs and cafes, and to be honest, after a heavy day of castle exploring and all those stairs, we were ready for a sit down and something to eat. This one looks good, and it's pretty famous too. Built around 1522, the Black Boy is one of the oldest inns in North Wales. It's also one of the few remaining free houses owned by an independent family business in the United Kingdom. And they don't half do a mean Sunday roast. There are at least 3 theories to explain the origins of its name. One relates to a black boy brought into the country on a ship. Another suggests it comes from a navigational buoy which existed in the harbour. The third refers to the nickname given to Charles II by his mother and the fact that royalists met here secretly at that time. In the old days, this was also the town's red light district. For 4 and 6, you could get a bottle of gin and a young lady for the night. What a place! This is the Old Market Hall, now a community hub and a craft brewery. Everywhere you look here, it's old building after old building, each as beautiful as the one before. My money's on him. This neoclassical building was the Caernarfonshire Shire Hall, erected in 1863. Here Blind Justice sits with a sword in one hand and a seagull in the other. This statue is of David Lloyd George, a Member of Parliament for Caernarfon Boroughs, who went on to be the British Prime Minister from 1916 to 1922. The main square in Caernarfon is huge. In fact, everything in Caernarfon seems to be huge. Except this bar. Cute little bar, or small bar, wedged into this stone house. We were thirsty once again, so stopped here for a couple of colas, enjoying the views. Hiya! Right, time to cross the water for the money shots. There she is. And to finish the day, the Menai Straits tour boat arrived back at the harbour. Thanks, Caernarfon, for a right royal day out. Well, we're coming to the end of another lovely day out. Caernarfon Castle, oh my god, it's massive.
I don't think I've ever been there before.
No, we don't live that far away, and I don't think I've ever been in there before. I think it's really good value for money, £11.50. You get a huge guidebook. There are so many exhibitions. I feel like I've learned a lot today. And with everything that's been going on, it felt quite poignant today, with the flowers laid for the Queen. It's actually the Queen's funeral tomorrow.
As we film this.
And yeah, seeing all the film of the young Prince Charles being made Prince of Wales, and now he's the King, so it was a little sad as well, I thought. But back to happy jolly, We've loved Caernarfon, we're definitely going to come back. One thing we haven't done this time is the steam railway, which is a beautiful journey apparently. So next time we come back to Caernarfon, we're going to do that. But I think it's time for a pint. So let's cut across.
Pint time.
Oh, here he goes, it's pint time. Let's cut across to the Black Boy Inn. We'll see you there. As we say in Postcard and a Pint,
Cheers to the good times. There once was a king who was only 30 centimetres tall. He wasn't a very good king, but he was a great ruler.